Hi everyone, it's Michael here from Custom Bike Fit, and today I want to give you a review of the new Cube Aerium time trial bike. It is a bike that is, creating a bit of noise. It's a striking bike. It looks really good. The price point is fantastic. This particular model is 10,000 Australian dollars. That's it's Ultegra Di2. Carbon wheels. We have, essentially it's a profile design cockpit with their 43 ASC carbon extensions and their Race Plus armrest kit. Now, I've had a number of clients, middle-aged men in their 50s, have expressed interest in this bike, and one of those gentlemen has purchased this model and he's left it with me to do my thing with, right, before he comes back for his final fit. And what I have to do, and I had a conversation with him before he bought the bike about the things that I think are a downside for him and for many people. And the first thing is the height of the base bar. This particular model here is a small. The gentleman in question is about 172, 174 centimeters tall, so he definitely fits the small on the online sizing guide. Okay, but look at, and I've set the saddle, I've cut the seat post and I've set the saddle to where he needs to be. It's got a 170mm crank. I would like to see it with shorter, but there you go. Look at the height of the base bar. It's very, very low. Now, for someone that doesn't have great flexibility, or even if you do, having a base bar this low, to me, can be an issue. Riding in traffic, climbing, descending, where your hands are on the base bar, you put a lot of weight through there, your head's poking out the front, not ideal. And I do find, when I used to train for Ironman, you get 5-6 hours into ride, you get fatigued, and then you're riding home. Generally you live in built up areas, and you've got to be looking up, because now you're in traffic, you're in heavy traffic often, people looking for car parks and all that sort of thing. So that to me is a problem. Cube do make an option, have an option for a raised cockpit. Raise is that base bar by 40mm, but I've not seen anybody talk about it, like any of the dealers, or bring the base bar in. And I believe it's 700, I'm not sure if it's 700 US or 700 Australian dollars for that option. And I do believe that whoever's bringing these bikes in needs to have those base bars ready. Now, another issue I see with this bike is it's a profile design front end, as I said. I'm a big fan of that, and it comes with this really great build kit, right? But the highest stack you can go to is 80mm, and that means, this sounds strange, but it's a 40mm spacer, a 20mm spacer, and a bridge. Now, on this bike, I've got two hydration systems. One is a bladder in the frame, and the second is this one. If I go any higher in the stack, and I would suggest, if you look at the drop, that most people are going to need all of the stack, or nearly all of the stack. If you go higher than 40mm, you need a bridge, and that means I can't use this, right? So that front hydration, or one of the front hydration system is gone, and it looks nice with the front hydration system on it. It sort of tidies the front end up. The other thing is, and I need to put all the spaces in here, the cables aren't long enough. So when this bike was built, I believe when you build a bike like this, you put all the spaces in and make sure you have enough cable straight off the bat. You can always hide cable, but adding cable is very difficult. In this scenario, you're going to have to do one of two things. Run the TT extension cables again, which is a real pain in the butt, or add in cable connectors like JC, I think they're called JC200s from Shimano, and some additional short 150 length Di2 cables. That's not an ideal scenario. And the other thing is, with these 43 ASC extensions, so the carbon version, which look beautiful, I'm a really big fan, they're so hard to run cables through. They come with like a sleeve in there, a straw, a sleeve, which really helps you to route the cable through. But once you actually pull that thing out, generally you have to pull the thing out with the Di2 cable, and then the next time you want to run a cable, it's a real pain in the butt, right? Even if you've got the right tools to do it, it's not easy. So that's the Cube Aerium. You know, there are some gotchas. Just don't go out, run out and buy this. You definitely, I think, need to have a look at the bike and understand what your fit requirements are, how much stack you need. Are you going to feel comfortable with this sort of drop from the saddle down to the base bar? Oh yeah, it's a TT bike. We ride it in the TT position. Yeah, not all the time. Certainly not on all the training rides, not when you're climbing, not when you're descending, not when you're riding in traffic. So you have to think about these things. A lot of bike for the money, as I say, but beware before you pull the trigger on this. Just a point of clarification on the arm pad stack. I've built this with the 40 and the 20mm space. So you can see there's some other items in there either side of the bridge because the bridge is flat, and we actually have from the base bar to the back of the pad, back of the armrest, I've got this on a 20-degree angle, the stack is 100mm. So the longest bolts that are supplied with this bike are 100 and 105mm. And anyway, that's the bike with all the stack in. And so for some people that TT position is going to be fine. For others, I think it's going to be low. And as I said previously, my major concern for a lot is the height of the base bar. But that's the bike.